Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into the shadowy corners of the Elder Scrolls 4. Oblivion Remastered to talk about one of the coolest parts of the game, Daggers. If you've ever snuck through the shadows as a member of the Thieves Guild or carried out a silent kill for the Dark Brotherhood, you know exactly how satisfying it is to have the perfect blade in your hand. Whether you're picking them up from a hidden chest, looting them from an unlucky NPC, or earning them through a quest, there are some seriously awesome daggers out there just waiting to be found. But here's the twist. Thanks to Oblivion's level scaling system, not all daggers are created equal. That dagger you pick up at level 5, it might be a baby version of the beast you'd get at level 25. And let's not forget the exclusive daggers you can only snag by joining certain factions or diving into DLC content. So in this video, we're going to break down some of the best daggers in the game, how to get them, and why they're worth the trouble. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. If you're on the hunt for one of the best daggers in the Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion Remastered, then let me introduce you to the Dagger of Order. This little beauty is not just some random loot drop or something you stumble upon in a chest, it is a quest reward, and oh boy, it is absolutely worth the trouble. What makes it special? Well, aside from its sleek design and deadly edge, it fits perfectly into the hands of a stealthy rogue or a flashy thief looking to make an impression while stabbing in style. To get your hands on the Dagger of Order, you will need to complete the quest, saving time itself. But hold up, this is not a standalone quest. It is actually the second part of a quest chain that is exclusive to the remastered version of the game. That means if you are playing the original Oblivion, you are out of luck. The chain starts when you talk to Ilev Dralgoner, a pretty mysterious character hanging out in the Kvatch refugee camp. He kicks things off with a quest called A Wound in Time, and that is where the real fun begins. During the first quest, you are sent to the Ayleid ruin of Beldaburo to investigate some strange disappearances. What starts as a local mystery quickly turns into a high-stakes time travel scenario when you uncover a literal time wound. Yes, you heard that right. Ilev suspects the involvement of an Elder Scroll, and just like that, you are pulled deeper into a plot that is way bigger than missing townsfolk. He enchants you with a special spell to help you get past some ancient magical barriers, and from there you are off to face a lich and recover the scroll. Once you survive that chaos and return victorious, Ilev gives you a well-earned reward, a selection of weapons and gear from the Paladin of the Order set. While all the options are solid picks, the Dagger of Order stands out for players who love stealth gameplay. It is light, fast, and looks incredible when drawn mid-sneak. Whether you are backstabbing your way through a bandit camp or just flexing on your guildmates in the Thieves Guild, this dagger is going to make you feel like you run the shadows of Cyrodiil. Alright, let's talk about one of the sneakiest, most underrated little tools of destruction in Oblivion Remastered, the Dagger of Absorption. This bad boy might look like just another dagger at first glance, but do not let its size fool you. What makes it truly special is the absorption enchantment slapped onto it, an effect that drains the target's intelligence stat every time you strike. That means you are not just poking your enemy, you are actively shutting down their brain power, which is especially brutal against spellcasters. Now, you are probably wondering, where do I even get this thing? Good news, you do not have to go through a wild questline or defeat a world-ending boss. You can actually find daggers with the absorption enchantment just lying around in random places. Sometimes enemies drop them, sometimes they are sitting pretty inside chests, and occasionally a vendor might have one tucked away in their inventory. It is a bit of a lottery, sure, but it makes looting all the more exciting. But if luck is not on your side, do not worry. You can take matters into your own hands. If you have learned the absorption spell effect, check under the effects tab in your inventory. You can head over to an enchanting altar and enchant any regular dagger yourself. Simple as that. Turn your ordinary blade into a magic-sapping monster. Perfect for draining the intelligence of that one annoying mage who keeps spamming fireballs like it is going out of style. And here is a little bonus tip for the enchantment lovers out there. The absorption effect is just the beginning. You can find other weapons with similar draining enchantments. A battle axe that drains endurance, a short sword that takes away speed, and even a mace that chips away at willpower. But let's be real. Nothing quite compares to the satisfaction of watching a magic user fizzle out mid-spell because their intelligence has hit rock bottom, all thanks to your trusty dagger. Alright, let us talk about one of the most underrated daggers in Oblivion Remastered, the Enchanted Dagger. This little blade might not look like much at first glance, but it comes with a nasty little surprise for your enemies: the bleed effect. It is not flashy, it is not legendary, but it absolutely gets the job done, especially if you enjoy stacking damage over time while dancing around your target like a true rogue. Now, here is the twist. This dagger is not some grand reward at the end of a dungeon crawl or a boss fight. You actually get it from a character named Melisande during the Vampire Cure quest. That is right, you do not even have to finish the quest to keep it. Melisande gives you the dagger early on to help you survive the grueling scavenger hunt for rare ingredients. She knows what she is asking for is no joke, so she gives you a little extra incentive to keep going. And honestly, it is a great move. Some players might skip this quest entirely, especially if they are rocking the Vile Lair downloadable content, which lets you cure vampirism much more easily through the Fawn of Renewal. But if you are playing without that content, or you are just the kind of player who enjoys the classic long-form quests, this dagger is a really cool side benefit. Sure, the actual quest reward is a pile of gold and your humanity, but the Enchanted Dagger is a solid mid-game weapon that deserves more recognition. So if you are diving into Oblivion Remastered and wondering which daggers are worth your time, do not sleep on this one. You can get it pretty early during one of the more memorable side quests, and it sticks with you way longer than you might expect. It is not just a tool, it is a quiet little reminder that sometimes the best gear comes when you least expect it. Sufferthorn is definitely one of those daggers that makes you feel like a true assassin in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. You do not just get it handed to you though, you have to earn it by completing the Dark Brotherhood quest called Accidents Happen. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, not quite. You have to make a death look like an accident, and if you are anything like me, you will probably end up reloading a few saves to get it just right. But once you pull it off, the reward is well worth it. What makes Sufferthorn so special is not just the fact that it is a dagger, it is what it does when you stab someone with it. This little blade comes enchanted with damage health and drain strength, which means your enemies are not only bleeding out, but they are also getting weaker with every hit. That is a nasty combo, especially if you like sneaking up behind people and ending things quickly. The best part? The physical damage of the dagger actually scales with your level, so the stronger you become, the more deadly Sufferthorn gets. And let us not forget where this fits in the bigger Dark Brotherhood storyline. Accidents Happen is just one of several missions that lead you down the path toward becoming the Listener, the highest rank in the Brotherhood. So grabbing Sufferthorn is not just about getting a cool weapon, it is a sign that you are climbing the ranks and earning the Night Mother's favor. Plus, it sets the tone for the even more intense quests that come later on. Honestly, if you're building a stealthy character or just want to feel like a shadowy legend of the night, this dagger belongs in your collection. It is not flashy like some other weapons in the game, but that is kind of the point. Sufferthorn is quiet, deadly, and absolutely perfect for the kind of player who prefers their enemies never see them coming. Keep it close. You are going to need it for what comes next in the Brotherhood. Ah, the Blade of Woe. Now this is a dagger with some serious dark flair. If you are sneaking through the shadows and taking out targets without ever being seen, this little beauty is practically made for you. It is one of the most iconic weapons in Oblivion Remastered, and honestly, getting your hands on it is as dramatic as it gets. You do not need to complete some long epic quest. No, you just need to do something, well, pretty evil. Just murder an innocent in cold blood, and soon enough, you will be visited by a certain someone in the dead of night. That someone? Lucien Lachance, the charismatic yet creepy speaker of the Dark Brotherhood. He shows up out of nowhere after your dirty deed and gives you a tempting offer: join the Brotherhood. If you say yes, which let's be honest you will, he rewards you with the Blade of Woe right then and there. No dungeon crawling, no artifact hunting, just one dark decision and boom. You have got yourself one of the best daggers in the game. Now, here is where things get a bit more interesting. The enchantments on the Blade of Woe are not actually locked in when you first receive it. Nope. They are determined much later when you reach the quest Honor Thy Mother. That is several steps down the Dark Brotherhood storyline, so until then, the blade is kind of in a limbo state. But once you hit that point, the enchantments kick in, and let me tell you, they pack a punch. Think drain health, think silence, think total assassination domination. So, if you are building a stealthy assassin in Oblivion Remastered, do not sleep on this dagger. It is stylish, deadly, and tied into one of the most memorable questlines in the game. And hey, joining a secret cult of murderers led by a ghost mom? That is just classic Elder Scrolls. Keep an eye out for Lucien, make your choice, and let the Blade of Woe become your silent partner in crime. If you are hunting for one of the most underrated daggers in Oblivion Remastered, let me tell you about a little beauty called Wit Splinter. Now, this is not just any shiny blade you pick up in a random loot chest. This dagger has a personality and a mean streak. What makes Wit Splinter stand out is not just its sleek design, but the fact that it damages magicka and drains intelligence with every hit. That means, if you are up against a mage, they are going to have a really bad day. Their spells? Good luck casting them when your brain is being siphoned out with every stab. You can get your hands on Wit Splinter by playing through a pretty fun quest called The Siren's Deception. It has got a nice little twist and some roleplay potential if you are into that. The quest kicks off in Anvil, one of the coastal cities, and all you really need to do to find it is walk around and listen to some good old-fashioned town gossip. Eventually, someone will start whispering about a group of dangerous women luring men into traps. That is your cue. Pay attention to those rumors. The leader of this little operation is a woman named Faustina Cartia, and let me tell you, she is no amateur. She runs a group called the Sirens, and they have been getting more reckless with each passing crime. It is a classic setup. They bait you, you fall for it, or pretend to, and then the tables turn. But if you play your cards right, you come out not just alive, but with one of the coolest daggers in the game sitting in your inventory. Wit Splinter is not just a weapon, it is a spellcaster's worst nightmare. And in a game like Oblivion, where mages can make your life miserable if you let them, having something like this in your back pocket is a game changer. It is sleek, it is powerful, and it has that perfect blend of utility and style. If you are building a stealthy assassin or just want a solid counter to those robe-wearing fireball throwers, Wit Splinter is absolutely worth the effort. When we talk about the best daggers in the Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion Remastered, there is one blade that always manages to stab its way into the conversation: Meuns Razor. This is not just any dagger. It comes with some terrifying enchantments that make it a favorite for assassin builds and sneaky players alike. With the power to disintegrate armor and even banish Daedric enemies, it is basically a pocket nuke for anyone who loves getting up close and personal. To get your hands on this deadly piece of craftsmanship, you will need to complete the quest Unearthing Meuns Razor. But here is the catch. You will only find this content if you have the Knights of the Nine downloadable content installed, or if you are playing the remastered version of Oblivion, where it is bundled in. The journey starts at a place called Sundercliff Watch, a ruined fort that is now crawling with enemies and dark secrets. Trust me, this place is not your average bandit cave. Once you get inside, you will want to look for the journal of Frothan Drothan, a rogue battle mage who has gone off the rails trying to uncover an ancient eyelid city. His writings lead you to the hidden entrance of Varsa Balim, a massive lost city filled with ancient ruins, cursed traps, and some of the best loot you can hope to find in the game. Exploring this place feels like diving into a forgotten chapter of Tamriel's history, and every hallway seems to whisper, "Turn back, fool." But the real test comes at the end, when you face Frothan himself inside a place called the Nefari Vigum. This guy is no joke. He is a high-level battle mage with a serious attitude problem and a dangerous amount of magicka. If you want a chance at defeating him, bring gear or spells that drain intelligence and magicka. Once you take him down, Meuns Razor is yours, and from that moment on, you will never look at other daggers the same way again. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.